Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome back to my channel. I have a series of photos here of my daughter Isabella enjoying a day on the lake with her boyfriend Hunter, and I want to scrapbook these. It's really unusual for Isabella to be outside enjoying nature. She's really more of a bougie kind of inside girl. So the fact that Hunter was able to get her out on the boat and that she held a fish, it's a really big deal. So I want to scrapbook these photos so badly. We have the perfect paper that came over from close to my heart, and Stampin' Up acquired it. And there's a few packs out. There'll be another one July 3rd. And the first one was called Enjoy the Ride. The next one is called Lake Life. And I have it here. I'm just going to slide these photos into the middle. This is the paper pack. So it's a paper pack, like I said, that Stampin' Up bought right from close to my heart to be able to offer to our customers. And it's got a traditional sticker sheet from close to my heart. It has a pattern with oars, and the back side of that is this beautiful water pattern. Really good plaid. Almost like a fishnet. I don't know what that is, but it's a little diamond pattern. It's a good neutral. We have a very graphic word paper with a little fish border, and then this beautiful sheet of cardstock as well. Now, in addition to this paper pack, you can also opt to go with a bundle. This is a scrapbooking workshop, and it creates, and it has all the products to create these 3 double layouts that you see here. I like them. I'm really drawn to this paper here in the background. This paper is an exclusive paper that is only in this kit. The kits contain extras that the paper pack with stickers right here don't. So I'm just going to take out a few of the extras just to show you. So it'll have the entire paper pack and sticker sheet. It has some unique die cuts here. It has photo placeholders. And then I'm just going to move to the things that are unique to this kit. This one has Punchouts. So it's got 1 and 2 sheets of Punchouts. This one is falling out upon that one, but you can see the really cool hexagon pattern there. And it's got lots of extra sheets of cardstock here. Lots of exclusives. So if I was going to buy one or the other, I'd probably opt for the scrapbooking workshop, even if you weren't planning on using their instructions that are provided. You wanted to go off and do something on your own, because it contains a lot of extra. So there are, let's see, 4 sheets of Seabrook. There's a sheet of pine right there. I think that might be sage. I'm not sure. Let's see what it says. Sage. Yes. So there's a lot of extras in this kit. So that's the scrapbooking workshop kit. Now, I was drawn to that layout, like I said, with the fish. Initially, I thought I was going to just do my own thing using a sketch, but I do love this layout since Isabella's holding that fish. I think it would be so appropriate to use this layout, but I definitely want to make a few changes. What I'd like to do is use the paper that is included right here in the kit, not add extra paper, but I want to create a border around here. I'm not loving the fact that the fish kind of ends halfway on the page and half off the page. So I definitely want a border. We're going to just chop this down a bit, but I'm probably going to keep a very similar layout style or structure. The only thing that I'm going to need to do is change a few things, because I've got 1 big 5x7 photo. I've got 2 4x6 photos that are, portrait, and 1 that is landscape. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments. But overall, I think I'm going to cut the paper very similar to this. We're just going to see if I can't sneak out a border piece for both of these pages. It's now time to gut out the center of my Seabrook cardstock. I wanted to share with you how I plan on doing this. So I'm going to line up the cardstock with the 1-inch mark right here. And I'm going to come down 1 inch. And I'm going to slice between 1 inch and 11 inches. And I'm going to stop and rotate the paper. I'm going to mark it. I'm going to put it on the 1 inch mark again right here. And we'll go from 1 inch to 11. It's okay if you go a tiny bit past the 11-inch mark or the 1-inch mark. It's going to be hidden. It'll just make it easier to pull out the center when we get there. Line this one up on the 1-inch mark. Go to 11, and then one more time. And we're going to have 2 perfectly usable gutted pieces of cardstock. It's a great way to save cardstock. And you'll see what I mean. I now have 2 centers that we will use for the photo mats and all of the other cuts that we need out of those 2 pieces. And now we have 2 frames. So the 2 pieces of fish paper, we're going to cut 1 inch off of the side, one side. And now, like I said, I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off and a 1/2 inch off. I'm not going to just do one big cut because I want to trim out those little fish, that one line of fish. So I like that because now I feel like the fish are not getting cut off here. I'm okay with the sides where you see a little bit of the fish, but I just feel like it makes it neater on the top and bottom. I've got a nice little pile of cutout pieces. I have already adhered one of our fish pieces to our base little cutout here, and I'm just going to do the same here. Now I'm just looking. I think that the fish are supposed to be swimming left. So that means that this one is upside down because we want their eyes at the top. So what I'm going to do is just going to center this on my glass mat. And we are going to try to then lay this piece with a 1/2 inch border all around. Looks pretty good to me. So we're going to just go ahead and rub that down. So now we have our left and right base pages. I also told you that in order to save some of this paper here, that's why we got it, I needed a 9x9 piece of cardstock. So I got that out of the center of here, and then I gutted that as well to save it for some photo mats. Now what I need to do is I need to adhere the piece that is supposed to be on the front of this. So doing the same thing that we did over here, we're just going to put some adhesive down along the edges. Off the page there. And then we're going to flip that over and we're going to center that. So we'll have a 1/2 inch border around this piece as well. I'm going to move that left page back in. We have a piece of cardstock right here that is going to fit right here in the middle. And then this is going to go on top of it. Whoops, picking up the whole thing. Something like this. And this will get centered as well. Now, generally, I don't like titles on the inside. I'd rather have them on the outside. So I'm going to take this big 5x7 and I think it's going to replace this element here. I'm just going to lay this out. So I think this is going to go something like this. So we've got that. Now I need to look at the pieces that are supposed to be over here. I am supposed to be using this piece. This one's supposed to go down here somewhere in that neighborhood. And we also have a piece here. It's a 1x11. Just rearranging them to make them work for me. One other thing that I noticed was that there wasn't a lot of blue. My photos have a lot of blue, and I wanted to bring in a little blue. There is a zip strip that came off of one of the papers in any case, and it is the zip strip with the fish. And so I think I want to incorporate that. I want some blue on my page. And so wherever this ends up, we're going to do the same over here. So it just kind of is an element that pulls your eye across the page. We're going to figure this all out. Maybe what I want to do is move this up. This might be a very good spot for it. Right there. so that this way the white continues across at the same height on the left and right pages. And then we'll put the zip strip under it, and we will sneak this one under. I should have put that down first, but this will definitely go under, or I can just cut little pieces, and that's going to line up as well. Gorgeous. And then let's see if I can't just wiggle this up just a tiny bit. Now with our left and right pages lined up, I'm going to just sneak this right up to the right edge. And then I'm going to switch because I want to make sure I've got it at the right height on both pages. And indeed, we're going up just a bit. Okay. So now we are running the zip strip at the same height. We have the top of the white at the same height. And then I think it'll be okay to just put this somewhere in here. There was also supposed to be another strip of just Seabrook across the cardstock here that would cover some of the fish. I feel like I have the fish covered enough. I don't feel like bringing another piece of Seabrook in would benefit this right-hand page. So I am going to use some creative license, and we're going to skip that. Let's dry fit our photos once again. So I'm thinking, like I said, the big photo is going to go over here. You could end up seeing something like that. I'm going to play, and I'll come back when I've got these down. I'm also going to collect some of the embellishments. We do have a few other pieces that need to go on. For instance, we have this piece here that is supposed to go behind the big photo here. And now that I've cut that down as well, I see I'm going out of order. I could use that. I could just cut a strip about 1 inch and then make a banner piece at the top and bottom instead of running it the whole way. I don't need to see it in the middle. So we'll work on that. I'm going to gather the embellishments, like I said, and we'll get back to finishing this layout up. I've located all of the punch outs. Now I knew which ones are the punch outs for layout number 1 because each and every one is labeled on the back, which is great. Now you could always mix and match these, but I'm going to stick with what is meant to be here. I have the 2 1-inch pieces that I told you I trimmed off of that long piece that was meant to go behind the 2 smaller photos. So I'm just going to dovetail those, and I'm going to easily do this by just folding them in half. I have the fold up here. I'm going to go from the corner and give this just a little snip up to the middle, and I'm going to have 2 perfect matching dovetails. So these will go on the top and the bottom like so. So we'll get those glued down first. And one other thing that you might have noticed is that I changed one of the big design elements. We were supposed to have Seabrook behind each of these photos as a photo mat, and honestly it just didn't look right. It was just too washed out of a color against these photos. The green just wasn't quite right. I felt like the pine was a little bit more earthy, so I just switched out, and I'll use the Seabrook on another layout, but I just felt like for this purpose I needed to go with the pine. So all of my photos are matted with pine that came in the workshop kit as well. I have my acorn ink, and I'm just going to open that up. Remember I said that I did not want to put ink down before I had my photos done and decided where I was going to put those. So now that I've got the photos down, I've got like 3 unique little spots, and they're natural spots for clusters, I believe. So they form almost like a triangle here. So we'll go a little bit lower with the embellishments here, a little higher, and I think it'll work. All that I want to do is just pick up a little tiny bit of color, and I'm just going to lay that down. Now, the sticker that I love, the sticker that was meant to be here was Fresh Air and Sunshine, but I love the sun, rays, boat waves, and lake days. That I just think, again, it's not being used in any of the other layouts that I can see. And I just love the pop of blue. I think that that's really necessary for this layout. And so I want to make that our big title. So I'm going to put some foam adhesive on the back of here. We'll put that down. We also have a big circular element, and we need some place to put that. It's probably going to go in one of these areas over here. That'll probably work. Maybe over here we've got some big elements. Got to work a lot in here. So let's tuck that one right there. I think that'll be a really good spot for it. It's hard to decide where to put all these little elements. That would definitely extend the length of this. That would be kind of fun. We'll see how we feel about that too. We have the circle. Like I said, I tucked it here. Not sure if we want to keep it there. Let's see what happens if we layer it with this one. Maybe we'll do that. That's kind of fun there. We do have the big pennants. I think the pennants would be really cute over in this area. We've got 1, 2, and then we have the littler one right here. And that's going to go on top. And that has one of these little tiny hearts. So we can add that to it as well. So that'll go something like that in that area. We also have some fun little tabs. And this might be good for putting the date onto one of the photos, probably up here. Maybe we'll move that over a bit. I like that placement better. Hope that you guys can see that. So that'll get tacked down there. I have a couple of journaling strips that were provided. So maybe we will put those over in this area. And I don't like the balance of just 2. I'm probably going to have to cut another one because I think we're going to need a third. We have a few other pieces. And then we've got a ton of stickers. So I would probably look to see what stickers weren't being used. One of the things that I know that I definitely want to do, I see that there's a lake and there's a little fish one. I do want to bring some of these orangey red elements in. Even if I just steal 1 or 2, I want to build up that color palette because I really feel like we've got this pop of red. So having that pop of color will kind of pull in that red. So look forward to seeing at least a couple of these. So this is going to be the way that we pretty much embellish it. And I think that we will have 3 really good clusters. We'll have a cluster here, a cluster here, a cluster here. Maybe, like I said, something red here. That would probably be a great element to add here because this would mimic the shape that's already here. So we could definitely foam tape that up. We'll just put a piece of foam tape on the back and see how that looks. That's kind of cute. We've got waves all day. We could certainly use that. We've got this teensy tiny little punch out of a little fish. We could use that. This could probably go in here too as well if we wanted. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to come back. I'll show you the finished layout. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do something right now. I'm committing to this. I'm cutting this one. We're going to make a little dovetail out of this one. We'll just fold that in half really quickly. It's got to be a deeper dovetail though, because the one that was already cut was deeper. So we can put one of these up here. We'll put one down here. Even if I tuck that under just a bit, I do like the way that that looks. So those will become permanent on the page as well. We'll just straighten this out and put this on. Make sure that they line up. And we've got some little hearts that we could certainly embellish with. So 1 and 2. And then there's more hearts here that we can pull in. And I'm going to just adhere everything down and we'll come back and take a look at the final layout. I like the way this is going. Let's take a look at the artwork close up and we'll compare it with the original. So here's the original. I really think that adding that border and trimming down this fish background paper really gave I don't know, is a finishing touch to this layout. It was just kind of lacking before. I just feel like the attention to detail wasn't there with the fish just being cut off on the top and bottom. So taking that 1/2 inch off all around really, really did wonders for anchoring this layout to the page. Again, we kept the same size boxes here, and the background piece same. We added that zip strip. I think that that was a really good choice. Now there was this little flag piece which I had talked about adding maybe below here. Instead, what I did was I also cut it in half, similar to what I had done with this piece, and I just dovetailed and I put that down. I just kind of felt like having 3 dovetail pieces on the top and bottom finish this off as well. I had mentioned that I thought that bringing in some of that orangey red color would kind of help with the barn look of this house on the lake that Bella fell in love with. And so I did go ahead and put 3 pieces of those, 1 in each of my clusters, and I love how that turned out. But I didn't stop there. I went ahead and decided to bring in some of the yellow pieces. Now I don't think that most of these were used in another one of those layouts that they had designed, Close to My Heart had designed. So I went ahead and brought in a yellow piece here, here, and here. And so I think that by adding those contrasting colors, the orangey, the burnt orange, and then the yellows in each cluster really helped draw your eye across the page. Then I needed some bling. You always need bling. I reached for my loose frosted dots from Stampin' Up. Now these I don't believe are in stock anymore, but there's so many good options for embellishments. I'm just using what I have. And I was just drawn to these. I thought that they just, here we go. I think on the back you can see more. There was pink, there was like a peacock color and yellow. And I thought that is, it's a good assortment to buy. And so you'll find other assortments out on my website if you go and look. But I put down 3 pieces of the yellow frosted dots in each cluster as well. And I think that having those pops of contrast move your eyes across the page. I like having the bigger photos over here. In the end, I didn't cover up Hunter. I kept him as in the photo, kind of, like laughing at Isabella here. I think she was like reeling in upside down or something. I don't know what she was doing. But in any case, just created a fun page. I love that I was able to stick that little circle behind here and create a little landing zone for our elements, the stickers that I used. And I used all of the punch outs that I was supposed to use on this page. The only thing I think that I did not use was I was supposed to add a couple of the fish here. I can add them, on a different page, or maybe sneak them in somewhere in the future if I decide I need those. But I think the fish right here just speaks for itself. So let me just lift this up so that you can take a closer look at the bling and the clusters. Just think that it turned out really cute. And I hope that you agree. Whoops. And my little pieces, I didn't really glue these down really, super secure to the page because sometimes you need more or less journaling. So I just tack those down lightly. But look at this beautiful little cluster with the pennants and the 3 pieces that I brought in, and then over here. I love the way that this layout turned out. It's fun. It was fast because I used that sketch, use the cutting guide as a jumping off point, but I still changed it up to make it my own a bit. So I hope that this has inspired you to, use those guides, get that workshop kit. I highly recommend it. So we do have Enjoy the Ride, Lake Life, and then on July 3rd, you will wake up and there will be new paper available from Stampin' Up and Close to My Heart through my website. So I'll put the link to shop down below. Once you go to shop, you just look for the product category that says Close to My Heart and you are there. So thanks for watching. I'll link everything down below in this video's description. And I hope that if you've got a fishing trip or a boating trip to document, you consider this paper pack because it's lots of fun. In any case, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my upcoming projects that I have to offer. And thanks for watching. Have a creative day.